Congress leader Udit Raj has sparked a controversy by comparing Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Raavan, even as the country celebrated the festival of Dussehra. He said that Prime Minister is a symbol of modern-day Raavan, and he warned that his golden palace will burn down. The BJP has hit back, claiming that the party leaders, or Congress party leaders, are hallucinating. The party also claimed that the real Raavans are in the Congress party. Now, the Congress party says that insults from such as Balak Buddhi to Pappu imageries, it is the BJP that has often insulted its leadership. So who is at fault here, and does this language even matter to voters anymore, or they think all of this is just normal? That is what we discuss in the course of the next few minutes. We will be joined by a panel of guests, but first let's take a look at some reactions.
अभी मोदी जी आधुनिक रावण के सिंबल हैं और जिस तरह से अपने सोने का महल बना रहे हैं और जिसमें जाने वाले उसी के सोने का महल जलेगा.
रावणाचा आज अंत करायचा आहे. नेहमी रावणाचं दहन होतं. आता या पावसामध्ये रावणाचं दहन कसं करायचं? रावणाला जाळायचं की रावणाला बुडवायचा, हा विचार करावा लागेल. या मुंबईमध्ये पाऊस आहे. या मुंबईमध्ये रावणाला बुडवायचा आणि दिल्लीतल्या रावणाला जाळायचा. माननीय उद्धव साहेबांनी शस्त्रपूजा केलेली आहे. शस्त्रपूजा करण्याचा अधिकार हा माननीय हिंदुहृदय सम्राट बाळासाहेब ठाकरे यांच्या शिवसेनेचा आहे.
वो जितने भी प्रकार के अपशब्दों का प्रयोग करें, प्रधानमंत्री जी को कितना भी छोटा साबित करने का प्रयास करें, उससे प्रधानमंत्री जी के व्यक्तित्व की गरिमा पर असर नहीं पड़ता. और अपने को कितना भी महान दिखाने का प्रयास करें, उनकी लघुता में गुरुता नहीं दिखेगी. भगवान कृष्ण को इतना बड़ा पर्वत उठाने वाला गिरधर कहिए या छोटी सी मुरली उठाने वाला मुरलीधर, आप बड़े से छोटा भी करने का प्रयास करिए तो महिमा नहीं बदलती. और जो राहुल गांधी और कांग्रेस पार्टी अपने को कहती है कि साहब ये विदेश में जाकर ये हम बोल रहे हैं, वो बोल रहे हैं राहुल गांधी, तो उनके लिए कहते हूं बड़े बड़ाई ना करें और बड़े न बोलें बोल. और रहीमन हीरा कब कहे लाख टका मेरा मोल. मगर ये खानदान का हीरा है या कुछ और है, ये मैं आप लोगों के विवेक पे छोड़ता हूं.
We're joined by Congress leader Udit Raj now, the man who has stoked this controversy. We're also joined by Aparajita Sarangi. She's an MP from the BJP. And we have Tehseen Poonawala, political analyst. Thank you all of you for being part of this broadcast. Udit Raj, to you first. Sir, criticism is fine, but Ravan is a demon. He's a symbol of all evils. He abducted a woman. The whole world knows that. When you compare a three-term elected head of a state with a demon like Ravan, how will you justify that comparison, sir?
See, Ravan has had so many evils and disqualifications, and some of evils are resembling to what Modi ji is doing. You see, the way that demonetization was done in the country and bad GST, it disturbed the economy. And not only that, of course, opposition is targeted by all agencies, but not only opposition, but in the party itself, that only two people speak and the rest of them are dominated. The person who is proud is not ready to listen to anyone. What does it mean? In 1945, a cartoon was made where Golwarkar and Samarthad Mukherjee and Savarkar and Samarthad Mukherjee are aiming at Gandhiji, Subhash Chandra Bose and Patel, and through that cartoon it was portrayed. So what happened? In 1945, when the country was not free at that time, there was so much of expression, of freedom of expression, that it could allow, and they can do anything. They could do even to Gandhiji also. Who are they? They are the forefathers, they are the guardian, they are mentor of Gandhiji.
Right.
Sorry.
Right. Udit Raj, sir, I'll come back to you. Let me take one reaction from the
Modi
BJP spokesperson.
And it's a symbol.
Okay, got it. Aparajita Sarangi, the Congress says that these are just words to drive home a point, not an abuse, and that in a democracy all of this cannot be silenced. Your response?
A very good evening. I start with a quote. To every action of Prime Minister Modi, there is an equal and opposite negative reaction from the Congress and Congress's allies. It's extremely unfortunate that Congress has been behaving like this all through, and let me tell you that I have come today with the list of abuses that they have hurled over the Prime Minister over the past so many number of years. Now here is the list I wish I could share with you. There are 128 abuses in this booklet. What, who and when, all these are here. So I think they are a frustrated lot. Rahul Gandhi ji has been spearheading elections, and in every election he is losing. About 90 times they have lost over a period of time in the last couple of years. So I think because of their frustration, because of their despondency, all these abuses are coming out of their mouth. And I'm really aghast. Suppose a person like Udit Raj ji speaks like this, the High Command should take cognizance immediately and reprimand the person concerned. How is it possible? I remember, in fact, in 2007, Maut Ka Saudagar by Sonia Gandhi. 2017, Neech Admi by Manishankar Iyer. And every time this happens, Sri Mallikarjun Kharge also does not actually, prevent himself from hurling abuses. So who actually takes cognizance? Who will take cognizance if the High Command and the President of the party are themselves engaged in this kind of, I would say, this kind of hobby persuasion?
Okay.
I will call this a favorite hobby of the Congress.
Okay.
They are very fond of hurling abuses at Prime Minister Modi, knowing fully well, knowing fully well that 3 times he has won the mandate, and again there is absolutely no alternative in the country. There is no denying the fact that he is one of the most popular leaders of the world, and still in the country, 3rd time, he enjoys tremendous credibility among people.
Okay.
So
Before
I think these
Udit
people
Raj,
are talking like this because
right.
they are a frustrated lot.
Right. Even politically speaking, Udit Raj, when you use metaphors like Raavan, the whole point of criticism that you wanted to make gets lost because people might end up focusing on that part of your conversation, right? So isn't it in some ways really counterproductive?
I think if it is visible, see, this cartoon was made by whom? And Hegdewar and Syama Prasad.
There's no problem with freedom of expression. And you have the right to say what you want. But when you talk about what you said,
aiming at Gandhi ji, Subhash Chandra Bose ji, and Patel ji. See what happened. I'm very disappointed that Aparajita ji, an IAS officer, and Rajan know that is the way to express. So it's expression, not abuse. And the language of abuse is always used by BJP and of course Prime Minister himself. The way he has addressed, he has used so many words, and of course on television also they are using such a filthy language and abuses, which I have not done. This is an, of course, symbol of expression.
Let me ask a question to Aparajita before I go to Tehseen.
And analogy and comparison.
Right. Udit Raj, the Congress spokesperson, saying that the
I'm very surprised that
BJP also uses a lot of these words. In fact, the Congress has written 5 times to the Home Minister in the last few weeks saying that some spokesperson from Kerala, BJP spokesperson from Kerala, has also been issuing death threats to Rahul Gandhi. So do you think it goes both ways, or do you think it's the Congress party that makes a lot of these abusive statements? Aparajita Sarangi.
The question for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. See, let me tell you that 2 wrongs do not make a right. They can't justify their stand. And I showed you a list of 128 abuses. They are with me at this juncture. And if you go through them, you feel ashamed that there is the opposition party of the country is led by them. Unfortunately, they are the opposition in the Lok Sabha. It's extremely shameful. Now, let me tell you, the leader of the opposition comes out and gives a PowerPoint presentation and moves around in the country and beyond the country and keeps on hurling abuses at the Prime Minister and his ways of functioning. But let me tell you, in the tirades of the Congress, there is utter absence of content. There is utter absence of argument, there is utter absence of logic, and there is utter absence of proof and evidence. Where is the proof? Where is the evidence?
Okay.
You go on saying things against the Prime Minister. I think every abuse of the Congress is strengthening the position of the Prime Minister.
It's a Prime Minister who does it.
Okay, Tehseen, let me come to you.
Not our high command, not our leaders. It's Prime Minister who has been always hurling the abuses against the Congress and
you've been a Congress supporter.
And
does the Congress party believe in targeting the Prime Minister personally? Because, all of us as journalists also want to listen to criticism. But the fact is, everything about governance becomes so personalized. Why does this happen repeatedly? And who does it help?
Thank you, Vasudha, for having me on the show. Thank you. Good evening to all my fellow panelists, to the NDTV viewers. There are two aspects to this. What the Honorable Present MP said about a list of 120 odd abuses about, hurled at the Honorable Prime Minister of India. I could also give you abuses like Jersey cow, Balak Buddhi, Italian Bachda, held at the most honorable leader of opposition by the BJP, some by the most honorable Prime Minister. In fact, Giriraj Singh ji said about Mrs. Gandhi that she wouldn't get a single vote if she would have been dark-skinned. It is because she's fair, gori chamdi, that she gets vote, and no action was taken. May I also remind you of other abuses hurled at the Congress leadership. In fact, a Congress spokesperson on national TV was abused in such filthy language by a BJP national spokesperson. No action was taken. We saw against Colonel Sofia Qureshi, etc., and the BJP seldom takes action. But here's where I differ from the Congress. You see, in this political tutu-meme, the standard has fallen down everywhere. But in this political tutu-meme, when the Congress does it, as you rightly said, I would have today been on your show, we would have been discussing the economy or GST or issues in which we can actually slam the BJP because there's so many issues. It gets diverted to these issues that help the BJP win. Look, by abusing, the BJP MP is right, the Prime Minister is extremely popular. Yeah. People don't like abuses on the Prime Minister. People want to hear critique of the BJP. People want to hear criticism of the BJP. When you make it personal on the Prime Minister, the fact is the BJP gets an advantage. The fact is that becomes a topic of discussion. And it's not because media is godi or media is bad. It's just that if a Prime Minister is being targeted, it will be the topic of discussion. So if you have to target the Prime Minister, do it on issues where the Prime Minister has a weak record. Maybe the economy, maybe jobs, maybe whatever. You could do it on that in a more manner of gravitas. I have another point. The Congress is the party of Nehru, Gandhi, Maulana Azad. There are differences of opinion, but that differences of opinion is, again, in public domain with a lot of gravitas, with a lot of respect, done very democratically. When you do it in a manner as in to troll somebody, you're not holding the Congress legacy up. That's my personal opinion. I know people make it upset. So I think there's so much to slam the BJP on. Let's do it on that. Don't get personal with the Prime Minister. It won't even pay you political dividend.
Okay, Aparajita Sarangi, how would you respond to that, ma'am? Because the Congress party, before that, Udit Raj also pointed this out.
Yes.
Yeah. The fact that the BJP, the understanding or the narrative of the BJP...
I agree with Mr. Poonawalla.
Yeah. No, ma'am, I was asking you that
I agree with Mr. Poonawalla to the extent that
every attack on governance on the Prime Minister as an insult to his caste, his origins, also the nation. Do you think that is something that is also catching people's imagination?
See, every abuse by the Congress boosts the popularity of Prime Minister Modi. I think we must acknowledge and appreciate this fact. Every election and Prime Minister Modi and his party is the winner. Why so? Because, people, the voters reward dignity. The voters punish arrogance. The voters punish this kind of expression of frustration, despondency, and ill will. I think people are very smart. The voters are very smart. They know what's what. See, what we expect from the Congress, as far as the leader of opposition is concerned, he can speak anything and everything against Prime Minister Modi and his policies and the quality of implementation of his policies within the Lok Sabha and outside the Lok Sabha and within the boundaries of the country. We agree to that. There is absolutely no denying the fact that that is in his job chart. He should be doing that. But then, when we say these things, there has to be maryada. We cannot cross the Lakshman Rekha. Extremely important. And two wrongs do not make a right, I reiterate. All of us are bound by that particular, Lakshman Rekha we all need to respect, whether it is this party or that party. But then, calling the Prime Minister the most popular person in the country and one of the most popular leaders in the world as a Raavan, I think this is demeaning yourself. This shows what kind of sanskar you have. Okay. You can't just stoop to that level, and this is extremely, I think this hurts the people of the country because they have chosen the Prime Minister. Right. They have chosen Prime Minister Modi to sit in that chair. Right. And it is basically not hurling abuses of the Prime Minister, it is hurting the sentiments of people who have voted for him.
Okay, closing remarks, Yasin, very quickly your closing remarks.
Look, may I request the Honourable Member of Parliament, instead of this tutu meme, if the Honourable Prime Minister, the Honourable Leader of Opposition can sit for a cup of chai and we have a roadmap in our politics where we don't cross a certain rekha. The MP is right that there are personal attacks on the Prime Minister. But then Balak Buddhi on the most Honourable Leader of Opposition or regularly targeting him as Pappu or using names that are not required or even the sarcasm about a member of parliament when she laughed in parliament, though the Prime Minister did not take the name or said anything, but the inference to that. So I am saying let us have a certain decorum in national politics. And the Prime Minister being as popular as he is, if he can show us the path. For starters, if your BJP MP who abused a Congress spokesperson with the most filthy language, if you could take action, he's not even a big spokesperson of yours. Or, the minister who called Colonel Sofia Qureshi Atankwadi ki beti. At least stand up for that. If you all do it, the others will be forced to follow. You all are the governing party. Okay. There's a lot of respect the Prime Minister commands. Let him lead with actions. And then the opposition can also follow. Okay. But why don't you all take the lead? Why does it have to be a hit for...
Do you think political leadership on both sides need to be far more mindful of what their spokespersons say? Because sometimes it's also very difficult to monitor who's saying what, right? So, I don't know how parties like the BJP or even the Congress would even be able to do something like that. Aparajita Sarangi.
Yes, we want the Congress to engage with us as far as, issues are concerned, as far as policies are concerned, the quality of implementation of policies are concerned. I think these are the areas where they should focus on. Please take us to the dock, ask us questions. I think instead of hurling abuses and this kind of abuse, I don't even want to repeat what Mr. Udit Raj has said. It's so very demeaning. Okay. It may be from the Prime Minister, it can be for anybody else. I think this is extremely demeaning. Okay. It's absolutely crossing the Lakshman Rekha. Okay, here I find venom, here I find vitriol. I do not find vision, I do not find ideas, I do not find evidence or proof or arguments or sense.
That's a very important point Aparajita Sarangi is making, Udit Raj. She's saying that, engage with us, take us to the dock, converse with us on issues of governance, don't abuse the Prime Minister. How would you respond to that?
See, I'm very surprised to know it. So I'm very surprised to know it because they haven't done anything. Of course, every sector is doing very badly. Manufacturing, of course, export and agriculture sector, unemployment, inflation are all these things. So what happened? They are not finding anything to talk about. What did I say? I didn't say anything. It's a expression that how Modi ji has destroyed our foreign policy and how he has silenced the opposition and how the opposition is being targeted. This is what I have said. I don't know. They don't know metaphor. They don't know simile. They don't understand the idioms. So analogy, I'm very surprised
But
because
I suspect even people wouldn't understand that, sir. Sometimes, you know, the
Prime Minister himself has been using a lot of
bad language. Raavan to the failures in foreign policy, it's really difficult to understand a lot of that.
No Prime Minister in the country, no such a top leader in the country had used such a abuses. So many abuses against the Gandhi family, against opposition, and against so many. And of course, that is a demeaning that the Prime Minister could stoop down to such a level, the language of gutter. He has used language of gutter.
Okay.
So what happened?
Okay, I have to give some time to Aprajita Sarangi before I go to Tehseen for the closing remark. Udit Raj, thank you so much. You have no, I mean, like, I'm sure you have no remorse. You're saying that it is just an expression, not an abuse. But clearly, I'm not really sure how many people understand that, because the criticism that you are driving at also gets lost because you use powerful imageries like Ravan. Aprajita Sarangi.
See, Raavan is a term with a very wide connotation.
Yes,
and I don't think with the seniority of Mr. Udit Raj, one can get away by saying that it is just an expression. It can't be an expression. It is an abuse of the Prime Minister, the most popular person in the country. This is one. And number two, let me just remind all of you, please acknowledge and appreciate the good works that have been done in the past 11 years. We are the fourth largest economy. We'll be becoming the third largest very soon by bypassing Germany in the next 2.53 years. And we are the third largest ecosystem of startups. We are the second largest mobile manufacturer. We are the second largest automobile manufacturer. One after the other on the global stage also. We are very important. So I think when you say things are not happening in different sectors, I will request Mr. Udit Raj to qualify his statement by proof, by evidence.
Okay.
Where is the proof? Where is the evidence?
Okay, just 10 seconds. Tehseen, you wanted to come in for 10 seconds.
I just have my 10 seconds. Can I just say my 10 seconds? Can I just say, please,
Vasudha,
please.
He embodies the character of Ravana. Many character of Ravana.
Okay.
And of course, the whole country knows. Now the people are knowing it.
Okay, can I just have my point?
What happened? The evil.
Let's just have
evil practices.
Okay,
you know, we have a very important elections in Bihar. If these elections the opposition wins, the government could be in some sort of a trouble, at least at the beginning of it. I think we are distracting from issues of importance. Number two, with the Honorable Congress President unwell, with the Honorable Leader of Opposition abroad, I think we focus on the elections at hand because I don't know how it is, because it's important to topple the BJP in Bihar. And I'm an opposition voter because I think that will be good for us. And I think this is slightly diverting. I think focus on issues with gravitas and get the BJP on the ground with gravitas. That's what Pandit Nehru would have done. That's what Indira ji would have done. That's what Rajiv ji would have done. Use gravitas. I've made the same points.
Okay.
But your viewers will not find objection to what I've said.
But it's just an expression, not an abuse, says Udit Raj, and of course Aprajita Sarangi. There sometimes that Maryada is important, and they're seen making that important, that issues of gravitas need to be raised so that there is some sense of debate. Thank you all of you for joining me on this broadcast. As political rhetoric escalates, a battle over symbols, perception, what is abuse, what is an expression, and identity politics may shape voter behavior more than policy debates in the coming future. That seems to be the trend. With that, it's time for a short break. More news and updates on the other side.